Colin, it's great to have a chance to speak with you, my friend, because this is something that means a lot to me. I think it means a lot to a lot of people. I've been to the event. I've seen so many inspiring people, whether they be in the
Yeah.
ring or families being out there, and it has to do with what I've got right here.
Yes.
Fight to
Yes.
End Cancer. For folks who don't know what we're talking about, because this big event is coming up at the Old Mill, what is this event about, sir?
So basically, the Fight to End Cancer is an organization that raises money for the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. What we do is we take people who have never boxed before, no boxing experience, and we bring them in and we start to train them for a boxing event, the big FTech Gala event. But it goes beyond just the boxing. We start to bring in the fact that we use them. They go out there. They start to bring awareness to what FTech's about, what Princess Margaret is doing for cancer research, and they start to raise donations and to bring other ambassadors on board to help us grow the awareness of what Princess Margaret does and to raise money for their research and for their fight to get rid of cancer.
Now, as you've mentioned, these are folks who have never been in the ring, but they either them personally or a family member has had the fight of their life against this, correct?
Exactly. So I'm always amazed at the stories that we hear from the boxers as to how cancer has impacted their lives. I mean, I don't think I'd be off by saying that at some point somebody gets impacted by cancer, either through family or friends or some way. It just at some point it will come up. And to hear the stories of what some of these people, how cancer has affected their lives, how close it's come to them in terms of family members they've lost, um, it's quite the stories we hear. And for them to step up to want to, in the name of these people who've been affected by cancer, they've decided to come up, they've decided to train. It's not an easy thing to do, and it's a lot of time. They decide to train and donate their time and effort to raise money to fight cancer so that they can help other people not be affected by this in the future.
Now, you're a coach, you said, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
So, how do you train these folks who are probably terrified going into the ring because this is an unknown element in their lives going in there? We see, for anybody who's never been to a boxing match, I've been to
Mhm.
boxing matches. Of course, I've been to this event. There's one thing when you watch it on TV, it's another thing when you see it up front and personal, and it's
Yeah.
another thing
Yeah.
when you are the one in the ring.
I am. So I've been boxing for some time, and even today, I'm still learning things. It's amazing what's involved in the sport of boxing, and when people step into it, they're not sure what's going to happen for them. Basically, maybe they've done some cardio classes or they've done an intro course, but when you get down to actually learning how to box, you start with the fundamentals. You start with like defense and footwork and just getting those in place. Those are the keys of getting your footwork and everything in place. And then we'll grow on that. I think the hardest thing for someone who comes in the sport, especially for these FTech fighters, is it's a very short window from the time that we pick them from the tryouts that we hold in September to the main event in May. We only have 6 months. So the training schedule is quite rigorous. And for people who are used to, some of these people are active, they're quite active and they do a lot of exercise, but the boxing schedule to get them ready to fight requires a commitment and a level of intensity that they might not be ready for. And we see it. They start to get a little bit tired. Their body starts to hurt a bit, and we have to help them through that so that they continue. Our main goal is boxer safety. Our goal is to get these people to the event and come through the event safely. So that's what we look for, is to train them so that they'll safely get through the event and be able to compete at a good level.
And we should let them folks know this is men and women who are doing this.
Exactly, exactly. So we have 6 cards on the event. Uh, 2 of them are women, and the other 4 are men.
How do they? I've talked to them afterwards. I've talked to them before the matches, and I've had a chance to talk to them. But for you as a trainer, what do they say to you in the past after their fights? Oh, they even put it this way: before their fights and after their fights.
Well, before their fights, people don't say much. There's a lot of nerves going on. There's like, especially for people when this is their first fight. You don't know what to expect. You've been training all this time to get to this moment, and now it's here, and you're literally moments away from when you're going to step into the ring. So they don't really say much. And what we'll try to do is we try to keep them calm and focused. So we'll do some pad works. We'll get them to do some shadow work. We'll get them just to keep busy so that the nerves don't start building up inside, because you can see it in their eyes. They're running through everything. Like, okay, am I ready for this? I've done everything. And you're trying to tell them, listen, you're going to be good. You've done everything. You've trained. You know what to do. Go in there and do what you've been doing for the past 6 months. Post event, I always call it, there's this high. You just get this high from it. Like, you've done it. You've been through the event. I would say a boxing event feels like an eternity when you're in there, but when it's done, you say, my goodness, it went by so fast. I can't believe it's done. So there's just usually this high they come off of, and they're quite excited, especially if they win. When they lose, we still try to tell them, listen, you've done great. You've done something that most people will never do in their lives. And the fact that you're doing it for Fight to End Cancer just is even better. So, but everybody comes out with a high to say that I've done it, I've been in the match, and I've competed at a level that I've never imagined I'd do before.
Because no matter what, we're all together on this. Is why I've got the shirt on.
Yeah,
Defeat is not an option.
that's right. That's right.
And that's
I
what it's all
sometimes
about.
joke, I sometimes equate it almost to Survivor, where when we're training as a team, and we work together with a team, and we tell people, okay, work with each other. What we don't do is we never team up when we're doing shadows or sparring or anything like that. We don't team the people up who are actually fighting in the FTech event. They will never face each other until the actual event at the Old Mill. But that way we can work with each other, and they can grow with the sport and get better at it. And like in Survivor, the team works together until that final moment, and then they're now facing off against their opponent. And at that point, they do want to compete. They want to be the best they can, and they want to win. So it is an interesting sort of way we go from the Survivor working together as a team to, okay, now it's your moment to do your best and try to win.
And let's talk about the event itself for folks who go. It's it's great people that are there. There's
Oh
dinners,
yeah.
there's giveaway. There's a lot happening there.
It is a gala event. There's a lot going on. There's entertainment. There's an auction. There's a silent auction. All sorts of entertainment. It is quite an affair there, because people are all dressed up, and then you have this boxing that's going on. I always find it interesting. You got people who are dressed up in their best attire, and in the ring you have two people who are squaring off against each other in a sport, a contact sport. So it's an interesting dynamic between the two. You got people who are sweating and going at as hard as they can. And then you got people on the outside in their nicest clothes, enjoying a great meal, having a great time. It really is quite an event.
And tickets are still available.
Tickets are still available. You can go to the website, fighttoendcancer.com. All the information there is about the event, what tickets are available. You can go in there. There's about the history of the event. Fight to End Cancer has been around since 2011. So over this time, it's grown and grown. And the level of donations that we've been able to generate for Princess Margaret has grown as well. We're now approaching the $4 million mark that Fight to End Cancer has generated for Princess Margaret Hospital.
That's amazing. Like I said, I've been there. I was there last year. I'm going to be there again this year. Looking
Yeah,
forward to this. It is such an amazing event. And like I said, it inspires me every year. And of course, people should pay attention to your t-shirt. If they want more, that's the hashtag. That's where we
that's it
go.
right there. Exactly. Exactly. I will
And
say that we should mention that all of this is possible because of Jennifer Huggins and Virgil Barrows. Like, they are the heart and soul for FTech, what they've done in sort of starting this and continuing going with it. I mean, especially when we had the COVID period where we had to shut things down, and then to bring it back again and to grow it again. I really have to mention that Jen and Virg have been a real powerhouse behind this. And without their driving force, I don't know how this organization would have continued after COVID, for sure.
amen to them. Colin, thank you so
Yeah.
much for the interview. Um, please give all my best wishes to all of the fighters in the ring, because like I said, you got fighters in the ring, but you have fighters outside the ring too, and we're all
Exactly.
coming together to hopefully not ever have to have this event again. And that's
That
what
would
it's
be a
all
dream,
about.
would it not? Would it not?
It
That would be
would
fantastic.
it would definitely be, but I will be there, and I'm looking forward to rooting everybody on. Thank you again for the interview, my friend.
Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. We'll see you, Ned.